I have no idea.
Andrew Mason of DenverBroncos.com. He's going to come in. He's going to start coming in every Tuesday, right?
And in wearing a coat.
Yeah.
He's going to wear a sport coat and sneakers every
That's very
Tuesday.
nice. You can unbutton if you want.
Jeff,
get comfortable.
Jesse, I want the pizza. I want to call and get a pizza, and I want that new Papa John's pizza that's piled with the meat. I want to show people what that looks like, and I want to try it. This is like their new pizza. Can we do that? Can we?
I will email him tonight.
Tonight?
We already have pizza here.
Oh,
we
there's
have
pizza here already. It's just a different flavor today.
Just send it back. Tell them to take it back.
Yeah, that works well.
It's a long show.
Then the next one won't be here till tomorrow.
What do you think should have happened last night? Andrew Mason, of course, DenverBroncos.com. One of the best football writers in the country, one of the most analytical guys I know. Answers your mailbag. Write him with your questions about everything. They just go to why do I say that? DenverBroncos.com, and there's a mailbag click, I would think. Yep.
What should have happened? I think, in an idealistic world, Vic Lombardi had the best idea. Get everyone out of the locker room, pick it back up.
That's what Woody just said.
Play it again.
Before you walked in, that was Woody's suggestion.
Blandino, I repeat myself, Blandino, within 30, 40 minutes, they're still in the locker room. We know that. You're in locker rooms all the time. They're still there. Gather everybody. I've seen it at a Colorado State-Wyoming game where there was a question about a field goal, whether they'd kick it. They brought everybody back out. They were in all sorts of – there have been games where teams were brought back to kick the extra point, and some of the guys are in their gym shorts and stuff. We've seen that happen. That happened on a Monday night game, I think, in the NFL. Bring them back out. Settle it. Where's everybody going? Nobody needs to go anywhere. I mean, that would be the solution. Obviously, I know enough about you that you think the rules should be changed. Am I right?
Yeah, I think the replay, in this instance, this is where you should expand the availability of calls that can, the range of calls that are reviewable. Yeah. And that's the bigger thing. Something like this is black and white. This is quantifiable. It's not subjective. I understand why they're going to say, well, pass interference isn't subject to replay review, because you do that, you start opening a Pandora's box, and maybe you're looking at
That's a judgment call.
Yeah, judgment calls, you're looking at 4-hour games. But something objective like this, that you can look on the replay and say, hey, they got this wrong. There's no reason why they shouldn't be able to do it.
Well, but you say that. In baseball, in baseball, it's a judgment call at home plate. It's a judgment call.
Every ball and strike call.
You can review it. Sure, pass interference. It's a judgment call. But baseball does it with judgment calls. Football
not with balls
is
and
doing
strikes,
it.
though.
Pardon me?
Not with balls and strikes, though. But with plays at the plate.
But they're judgment calls. They are judgment calls. Is he out at second base? That's a judgment call. He's safe. Let's review
theoretically, but you can see clearly if the cleat touches the bag.
I can see clearly.
In this case,
you can see clearly that it's pass interference, or you can say there's not enough proof.
In this case, it was about the rules. It wasn't about a judgment call.
Right.
This is about a misinterpretation or a lack of knowledge of the rules.
And that's actually the most concerning thing. If it's a lack of knowledge, because the one thing those officials have to do is you know the rule book. And if they don't know that, then frankly, they're not doing their job.
And they get tested constantly.
They get tested constantly during the season, and they get reviewed after every
They meet during the weekend in somebody's room, and they go over the rules themselves.
Sure, I stay with them at Marriott's. They stay at, if you want inside information, they stay at airport Marriott's. I stay at airport Marriott's because I tend to want to get in and out of a city. I've done that the last 2 games, Kansas City and Detroit. That's where the officials stay. If anybody wants to know, they stay at, not Courtyards, I'm sorry, they stay at Marriott's at the airport. And I talk to them. And they have dinner. They go over the game the night before. They have meetings all day. There is a guy from Denver who is, they don't call them supervisors. They have another name for him, professor or something. They have some unusual name. He is an ex-official. He told me, he called Dave Logan's games in high school, college, pros. And he said, you should tell Logan I did that. His job is to work with them on rules, interpretations. They look at film. So they do it constantly. There's going to be a cry for full-time officials as a result of this.
There always is. This always spurs that call for full-time officials. Well, yeah, but I think part of the rationale is they're officiating 1 game a week, 15 or 16 games a year. is there really enough of a demand for that without the NFL having a full-on minor league to give them something to do?
Well, and you're going to have to pay them enough because a lot of them hold very lucrative jobs during the week.
It's a $12 billion industry that's probably $15 billion.
I'm just saying, you're going to have to pay them more to make that happen.
I was opposed to it because these guys are veterans. They're bank presidents. Hockley is a famous attorney in Arizona. Hockley made a mistake. Here's what I say: you let those guys do that for the time being. In the meantime, you train these guys, and they work full time. When I call it full time, 4 days a week. They work 4 days a week. You pay them $250,000. There are 5 million people that are officials on some level that would take $250,000 to work as a full-time referee, and you give them training during the week. You have these supervisors I'm talking about, and they say, let's go over what happened last week. We're going to take a day to go over what happened last week. Here are the teams you're doing. We're going to look at we're going to scout just like the coaches do. Make it a full-time job. Let the Hockleys of the world, and the guy last night,
Corrente, who actually basically is a full-time official, as it were, because he works with the Pac-12, supervising officials.
There are quite a few of them who do that.
Yeah, Gene Steratore as well does that and does basketball.
All right.